Good evening, humans of Earth. It's Chris Angel coming at you for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. And tonight we're talking about the price of entry to create a groundswell in the world. I'm fired up right now. I'm coming off a moment where I ran a Facebook ad that was, or I submitted a Facebook ad that was not approved for some unknown reason. Now they gave me some reasons, but those reasons were not accurate. And then I asked for a manual review, and that also got rejected. So 2 times, actually I posted this 3 times now, and each time it's rejected for some reason I can't understand, right? And that's pretty common with Facebook ads. If you guys have run Facebook ads, you're like, you can submit something and you're like, I don't know why they said this, but it's not that. So I don't know. And then you just resubmit and you hope and you cross your fingers that it'll get approved, because you don't have any way to figure out how to change what it is they're disapproving, because they're not clear. I think this will be one of Facebook's downfalls somehow. So I think Facebook is very arrogant. I think Facebook in this way has a monopoly and is untouchable in some ways. And I think this arrogance will be their downfall. So there you have it. Facebook, if you're listening to me right now on your own platform, there you go. But this is what it made me think of. Okay, this is what it stirred in me, which is if you're going to create a groundswell in the world, at some point you're going to have to create a foundation where you can stand on your own 2 feet, and you don't need Facebook, you don't need some platform. You create your own platform. You create your own traffic, right? So the thought for me in the moment was, and I had this thought several weeks ago, but it reminded me, the thought is, look, someday there will be a day when I don't need Facebook, when I control the traffic, when I have built a platform big enough with a big enough foundation where people are coming into my conversation without the need of somebody else's platform. That's a cool thought. Can you just pause for a moment and think about that thought? You won't need someone else's platform to to attract your tribe. Can you get there? That somehow you will have created the whole thing that people are coming to, and you don't need another platform. Okay, so that's cool, right? But in order to do that, there are 2 things you need. First of all, you need to lead a conversation with the world, because it's the conversation that people come for. It's the conversation with you that people come for. And in order to do that, there's 2 things in that conversation. 1, you need to consistently lead that conversation. Because if you're going to have a platform that over time, year after year after year, people come to, you're going to be the one that has to lead that conversation. Nobody can lead that for you, because you're the leader. You're the one trying to create transformation in the world. So you have to consistently lead that conversation for ever. From now till forever. There will never be a time when you don't have to lead that conversation, until, I suppose, you don't want to create transformation anymore, and then cash in your chips and you're done. But if you are here for change, if you are here to lead, then there is never a time when you can't be consistent in your content. So consistency is the first thing. We can call it a pillar, we could call it a foundation, a leg of the stool, whatever you want, but consistency is the first one. The second one is powerfully. You have to consistently lead that conversation. But then 2, you have to powerfully lead that conversation. And the power comes from a couple things. There's 2 things the power comes from. 1, it comes from you being very clear about the message you are here to lead, right? That you feel connected emotionally to what you want to say. Most marketing is not done from that place. Most marketing people are not emotionally connected to what it is they're saying. Can you tell right now that I'm emotionally committed to what I'm saying? This is what is required for power to translate, for people to feel like they want to follow you as a leader of some conversation. If you're going to lead a conversation, it implies that people want to come and listen to what it is you're talking about. And that requires power. So power number 1 is going to come from that you are emotionally committed and connected to what it is you're saying. And number 2, that you have put in the repetitions to find that power. Like power doesn't just come one day. You could be emotionally connected to something and still be filled in your head with doubt and confusion and like, but what if people judge me? And like, but once you have repetition, once you have a number of at-bats, once you have 10,000 hours like an outlier, what happens is you start to rise above all that early chatter, all that stuff that in the beginning plagued your brain and caused doubt and confusion. All of that falls away and you start stepping into who you really are as a leader. And people start really listening to you like you're the leader you know you are because you're leading. But what happens over repetitions is that you start to embody the message you're emotionally connected to. It's one thing to be emotionally connected to it, but over time, you start to find power because you're embodying the message you're emotionally connected to. And so those two things are the price of entry to you creating a groundswell in the world. Number one, that you are consistently leading the conversation you're here to lead. And number two, that you're powerfully leading it. Those are the two pillars for you to and the price of entry to create your groundswell in the world. And when you do that, you at some point will not be enslaved to, imprisoned by someone else's platform. You can actually stand on your own 2 feet and build whatever kind of platform you want to build because you're powerfully leading a conversation in the world that people will line up to be a part of. And now you're not at the mercy of somebody else's platform and their unpredictable rules and their unpredictable things. They disapprove your ads and you don't know why. Or you, whatever their rules are that govern their thing, now you can actually create your own rules because it's your platform. And people are lining up to be a part of it. But to get there, you're going to have to be consistent and powerful in the conversation you're leading. If you'd like help in figuring out what that conversation is, then you can go to groundswellmethod.com. I have a free course, 5 videos, just over 90 minutes, that actually start to open this entire conversation of how we market this way to create a groundswell in the world. Okay. So if you haven't done it already, go to groundswellmethod.com and take the free course. That is an appetizer to a 6-week intensive program that I actually walk you through how to begin to get these repetitions and connect emotionally to this conversation. If you like the free course, then you'll want to apply for the Groundswell Method Intensive, which is a 6-week program. Okay. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight in this fired up, passionate episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. Until tomorrow, when we go live again, have a great night.